Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 20th, and it is approximately 6:02 p.m. Uh, Public hearing on proposed fiscal year 2026 budget and 2025 property tax rate. Uh, I call the meeting to order. Roll call, please, Ms. Ramos.
Yes, sir. Esteban Rangel,
Present.
Ernestina Tita Vela, Jackie Levin Ramos present, Cindy Liendo,
Present.
Erica Benavides Garcia,
Present.
Mercurio Martinez Jr.,
Present.
Adriana Alexander. She's on her way, thank you. Lizzie Newsom,
Present.
Karina Elizondo.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. If Ms. Benavides Garcia lead us in a prayer, and Judge Martinez and the Pledge of Allegiance, please stand, everybody.
Gracious God, we gather today with a shared commitment to the well-being of Laredo College. We acknowledge the responsibility placed upon us to guide this institution and serve its students, faculty, and staff. Grant us wisdom and discernment as we make decisions that impact the future of our college. May our deliberations be guided by your Spirit, leading us to solutions that are just, equitable, and beneficial for all. We ask for your strength and unity as we work together, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve this community. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Benavides Garcia, and thank you, Judge Martinez. Item number 3, public hearing on proposed fiscal year 2026 budget and 2025 property tax rate. Mr. Cesar Vela.
Good evening, members of the board. Cesar Vela, Vice President of Finance and Administration. For the record, we would like to open the public hearing on the 2026 budget and the 2025 proposed tax rate. As part of the state law, we did post the meeting on our website and also in the Laredo Morning Times. So at this point, I'll defer back to Mr. Rangel.
Thank you, Mr. Vela. Today is August 20, 2025. We are convening a public hearing on the proposed Laredo College fiscal year 2026 budget and 2025 property tax rate. I will preside as chair of this hearing, and now I call roll. Esteban Rangel, present. Jackie Ramos.
Present.
Ernestina Tita Vela.
Present.
Cindy Liendo.
Present.
Erica Benavides Garcia.
Present.
Mercurio Martinez.
Present.
Adriana Alexander. Lizzie Newsom. Karina Elizondo.
Present.
We have a full quorum. As background information for the public, the Laredo College Board of Trustees is holding a meeting immediately after the public hearing to adopt the budget for Laredo College, fiscal year 2026. In addition to adopting the budget, the board will also adopt a property tax rate for the 2025. Our public hearing today will allow members of the public to express to the Board of Trustees any comments in favor or against the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget and the 2025 property tax rate. Each person will be allowed to step up to the podium one at a time to express his or her views regarding the proposed 2026 budget and 2025 property tax. The board will allow each individual up to 3 minutes to present his or her views. Speakers shall convene their remarks to the appropriation of funds as communicated in the proposed 2026 budget. According to the Laredo College Board of Trustees Policy CC Local on officers or employees from Laredo College is required to respond to no questions from speakers. Anyone who wishes to address the board can now proceed to the podium. This concludes the Laredo College public hearing on proposed fiscal year 2026 budget and 2025 property tax rate. I will now entertain a motion to close this public hearing. There's a motion by Ms. Ramos.
Second.
There's a second by Ms. Benavides Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Thank you. Motion passes. The public hearing is now closed. Thank you. Is there a motion for adjournment for this public hearing? There's a motion by Ms. Ernestina
Second.
Vela, a second by Ms. Liendo. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion passes. Thank you. And that's 6:08 p.m. for our public hearing. Now we're going to go ahead and start with our regular board meeting for Laredo College. I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Anybody against? No, sorry. Okay. Any public testimony? I'm sorry, roll call. One more time, Ms. Ramos.
Yes, thank you. Esteban Rangel,
Present.
Ernestina Tita Vela,
Present.
Jackie Leven Ramos present, Cindy Liendo,
Present.
Erica Benavides Garcia,
Present.
Mercurio Martinez Jr., Adriana Alexander, Lizzie Newsom, Karina Elizondo. You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We have already done the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, so we're moving on to public testimony. None. Thank you. Item number 4, recognition and introductions by Mr. Ruben Villarreal. Sir, please proceed.
Good evening, Board President Rangel, esteemed members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Ramirez, Vice Presidents, faculty, staff, and distinguished guests. My name is Ruben Villarreal, Public Information Officer for Laredo College, and it is my privilege to introduce personnel updates that reflect our college's continued growth and excellence. So agenda item 4A is introduction of personnel and personnel actions. We've got quite a few new hires, and so I'm going to read them all, and if we can hold the applause till the end and congratulate everybody at that point. So from the new hires, Angelica Alvarado, Mathematics Tutor Coordinator, Gregorio Cantu III, Forensic Technology Skills Instructor, Amanda L. Castañeda, Academic Advisor, Antonio.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mr. Rivera.
You're good.
Can we go to the front,
Yes.
everybody, so we could welcome them? Go ahead, Mr. Rivera.
And if we can have as I call you by name, go ahead and stand up and start making your way toward the front. Shall I start again? Okay, so we start with the new hires. Angelica Alvarado, Mathematics Tutor Coordinator. Gregorio Cantu III, Forensic Technology Skills Instructor. Amanda L. Castañeda, Academic Advisor. Antonio Cavazos III, Criminal Justice Forensic Science Instructor. Annabelle Y. Contreras, Recreation Coordinator. Bianca Cubriel, Global Learning and Leadership Initiatives Coordinator. Dr. Jose E. Gomez Jr., Chemistry Instructor. Edgar J. Fulgham, Homeland Security Studies Instructor. Victor A. Gallardo, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration Instructor. Carolinda Garza, Auto Body Collision and Paint Technology Technical Instructor at the South Campus. Melissa Garza, Human Resources, Benefits, and Leave Specialist. Lizette G. Henry, Government Instructor. Hamad Khan, Geology Instructor. Michael A. Mireles, Technology Support Specialist. Hugo Ortega, Construction Management Instructor. Roberto Peralta Jr., Criminal Justice Instructor. Yvette Santos, Enrollment Coach. Andrew G. Thorpe, Art Instructor. And Astrid J. Velis, Student Life Coordinator. Those are your new hires, ladies and gentlemen. we've got the do you want to wait for the promotions first? Yeah. Yeah. We have 3 promotions tonight. Samantha M. Gonzalez, Academic Project Coordinator. Tracy A. Humphreys, Assistant Professor of Associate Degree Nursing and Program Director. And Dr. Laura L. Ramirez Cruz, Dean of Arts and Sciences. Congratulations. And we have 1 reassignment, Dr. Antonio G. Carranza III, Professor of Organizational Leadership. Now, if everyone can make their way toward the front so they can take a picture, please. Don't be shy. They were. You want to start a second row, Myra? Or are you gonna, if we can start a second row? You get an extra $5 for taking the picture, by the way, so. I'm kidding. You need, I can't really move this because of the wire.
Okay. Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's take another one. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you.
Congratulations and thank you.
HR was on the roll.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, and congratulations to all the new hires and the promotions. HR, great job for doing all that. We're going to go ahead and move to item number 5, Faculty Council Report, Dr. Gilberto Martinez. Here he is. I didn't see you, Doc. Go ahead, Dr. Gill. Thank you.
Good evening, honorable trustees, President Ramirez. I want to start off by wishing a belated birthday to my former colleague, Trustee Vela. Happy belated birthday. In case anybody's wondering, I just gave her Saint Thomas. I like to give Saint Thomas, who's the patron saint of higher education.
Very nice, Doc.
Well, good evening. I do have some important items to go over with the board and President Ramirez. The first is that there is a draft of what could be the makeup of the faculty council. Looking strictly at what the state has required of us, some of it fits rather nicely, and some of it we had to do a little configuration. None of what you see in front of you is obviously set in stone, but basically it's what I believe to be a good starting point. One of the first challenges is for us that we are just one college. We are not a series of different colleges the way a university is made up. I think that when they were trying to formulate Senate Bill 37, they really relied mostly on how universities form their senates. But because of that, they had some strict guidelines for representation. So each college has or should have an equal amount of representatives. So what you see in front of you here is our departments, both from the workforce, continuing education, arts and sciences, kind of divided up into what they most have in common. So, for example, if you look at Delegation 1, you have the Department of Behavioral Sciences, the Department of Social Sciences, the Department of English Languages and Cultural Studies, and then the Department of Communication, Fine, and Performing Arts. These departments, although don't have everything in common with each other, they have probably the most in common with each other with regards to how they administer, let's say, exams or assignments, or even just some of the subject area that is cross-listed with them. Because we probably will only have 2 representatives from this first delegation, it's important that the representatives, who are tentatively called delegates instead of senators, would fairly represent the departments that are in this first delegation. Now, if you look at the very last one, if you go to like Delegation 8, right? Now you see on the other page, you see the Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management Studies and Protective Services, Regional Law Enforcement Academy, and Transportation Technology. These departments, while they don't have everything in common with each other, probably would most resemble each other and would be or have fair representation if we only had 2 representatives from this particular delegation. And if you go by each of them, you will see that most of them have the most in common with each other. But again, there's room for improvement, and I might be misguided as to, oh, well, maybe this department has more in common with this department, and they can switch out, if you will. If we have 2 representatives from each delegation, that means that our first faculty council potentially would have a membership of 16 faculty members from across every area, with room to grow. Once our other bachelor's degree programs come on board, then you'd have 2 from that department, 2 from the other, and so forth. And we could potentially grow all the way up to 56 members, possibly even 58 in the future. I probably won't be here when that happens, but it could grow all the way up to that. Now, from these 16 original members, most of them, 8 of them must be elected by the delegations, and the other 8 have to be appointed by President Ramirez. So that's law. It has to happen that way. The ones who are appointed by President Ramirez will serve 1-year terms, and they can serve all the way up to 6 years consecutively. The ones who are elected by their delegations, divisions, whatever we end up calling them, they will have to be voted on for terms of 2 years. Now, one of the great things about our previous faculty senate is that the senators who created the Constitution did a lot of the heavy lifting already. They already have a staggered timeline for who gets elected where. And so we won't have to do much work, actually. We just have to reconfigure it into this new council. And from those 16 members, then the president must appoint what I like to call the Speaker of the Faculty Council, no longer a president, but someone who is just going to report to you probably bi-monthly, an associate speaker, and then the secretary of the council, the person who records all the meetings and so forth. No constitution has been written yet or anything of that, because first we need the council to establish and then they, whoever they may be, because it could be 16 new faculty members, and next month you might have a different president up here speaking to you. So they're the ones who are going to kind of develop, along with our administration, what the Constitution would look like. But that having been said, I think we have a lot of what's already in our current Faculty Senate Constitution is usable. We were always an advisory-only committee, always, even when I used to work here a long time ago. So not much will change. There are some tweaks that we probably still have to do, but because it must be adopted before September 1st, this is what we wanted to present to you tonight. Questions about what I have 3.5 items to talk about. This is the first one, so I'll take your question.
First of all, before we start, I want to go ahead and recognize our Ms. Patricia Barrera, our tax assessor collector for Webb County. Thank you for being here, ma'am. Before I go ahead and start, I do have a couple of questions, Dr. Martinez. First of all, thank you for doing this. You know, I know it was kind of hard to let the other, Senate go, but I'm happy to say that you have the board behind you guys, trying to make sure that your voice is heard. So I want to thank you for making sure that you're pretty much taking the bull by the horns, right, and trying to get this done. And I know it's going to be a growing thing, or not a growing thing. It's going to be a learning curve, like you mentioned. We might have to move one department to another division or something like that. And that's great that you're taking that into consideration to group them together. So I like the fact that, our president for the college is going to have a say so a little bit on people that are going to be serving on this, right? Because, we want to make sure that we also have, a good standing from both ends. But my question to you would be, the speaker is chosen by the president, right? I guess the VP, which was called the VP, I know now it's called, I believe it's the associate speaker. That one is it somebody that?
Also by
her.
a president, yes.
Okay.
All three
And the
of
secretary
officers,
as well?
Also by the president, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I thought that one of them was going to be elected, but that's interesting. So my question to you is, whenever, let's say delegation 1, Esteban wants to go ahead and get elected, is it by all the delegations, or is it just by the divisions that are there that are going to vote?
That's a very good question. It would ideally be by only the group members in that
department.
delegation. But my colleague, I'm not the king here, so all my colleagues could decide, no, let's all vote. But knowing that they're gonna,
Who's gonna make
like
that?
all the different departments can kind of have an at-large type of election. I think that this, having just let's say the first 4 departments vote on their one, because really they're only voting for one delegate.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably work best. But again, this would be something that we would have to kind of figure out.
So those are the types of things that you're going to be figuring out from here to
Yes.
when it's going to start.
January
Okay.
1st.
So that's very interesting to know. But again, that's up to, of course, the staff to be able to decide how they're going to want to do it. So that was the only question that was for me, because I know I kind of read up a little bit on what you were doing, but my only question to that was, is it going to be like everybody's going to vote for delegation 1, or is it just going to be those departments? But it was just that type of question. But I mean, I hope
No, yes, that's a very
it
good
gets
question.
ironed out and see what it. Any
Yes, sir.
questions from my colleagues? No? Very good, Doc.
Okay, I have 2.5
Go
other
ahead.
items, if you don't mind, sorry.
No.
So, even though we've been dissolved, is that the word we can use right now? I still get calls from my colleagues here. And from around the end of summer to right now, one of the biggest concerns from my fellow faculty members is Senate Bill 2615. And the idea of scheduling and how we report our schedule on our office doors, or just how we report. I provided for the board what I believe to be something that other schools are probably not adhering to, but they're referencing. Here's the issue with Senate Bill 2615, and it's that there is really no uniformity, right? And the ones that we can reference are our neighbors to the north, TAMIU. So for example, like at TAMIU, there is no change in how the faculty are scheduled. There's none whatsoever. And we feel that that's the approach Laredo College should also take. If we were to bill, and this is just one, if we were to bill the way no offense to any attorneys, I love attorneys, but if we were to bill our hours, I guarantee you, my colleagues and I work more than 40 hours a week. You know, sometimes we're answering emails at 10 p.m., sometimes we're answering at 9 p.m., sometimes early on in the morning. So we think that the schedule that has been working up until now should continue to work. As long as we set foot on campus, we are not remote employees, far from it. Like most of us teach 15 hours on campus, you know, at all times. And some of us even leave to go teach in other places. But for the most part, I'm just here to ask you to consider, just like our neighbors at TAMIU, to continue scheduling faculty the way we've been scheduling faculty up until now. And I did provide an excerpt. It's from ChatGPT, full disclosure. I just asked AI, can you help me with this? But to talk a little bit about the Fair Labor Act and how professors, teachers are exempt from overtime payment, right? So in other words, we don't really work 40 hours a week, because if we worked past that, we would get paid overtime. So we don't get paid overtime, we get paid on a contract. As long as the primary duty is teaching, which all at Laredo College, that's our primary duty. All faculty, research is not our primary duty, or anything else. Teaching is our primary duty. So we feel confident that keeping our scheduling the way it's been kept. Of course, I mean, laws are open to interpretation, and I, more than anyone, understand. I used to sit there before, and I understand that we have to do what we feel is best to safeguard the college, but we feel confident that what we've been doing up until now is what will work and will continue to work, and we hope that it can stay that way. Questions about that? I mean,
On that one, Dr. Martinez, I just, if we could have Dr. Ramirez do a little bit of research on that to see, what could be a possibility, because of course, she's the one that's pretty much going to decide, what can happen. But, for sure, if you could just research that, Dr. Ramirez, and then hopefully iron that out between you guys, and we could probably come to a nice midpoint that everybody's okay with. So,
Okay,
any questions on that?
I have
Chair recognizes Ms. Benavides.
Dr. Martinez, you guys, what is it exactly that you want to stay as is?
we just want the way we've been reporting our schedule to remain the same. We feel that the new way that's being proposed is also a little bit confusing to anybody who tries to read those schedules.
Okay.
I feel that what we post on our doors is more clear than what we're being asked to do now.
Okay, can you just tell me what's being asked of you?
Well,
Dr. Ramirez?
So if I may, So one of the bills, the bill requires that we provide a in-depth placement of faculty of where they're going to teach from. So if you recall, I sent you all an email with all the bills that needed to be reviewed, and this is one of the bills I sent you, and this has to do with telework.
Okay.
So whether, if you're teaching one class online, you're supposed to be teaching, according, the literal translation from the bill is you're supposed to be teaching from campus. The issue that we're faced with at this point, and I've discussed this with the provost, is if we have an individual who's teaching all day at one of the high schools in dual credit, and then in the evening, they're teaching online to our regular students, or a hybrid course to our regular students, then they have to be on campus. Whereas before, they used to be able to teach that online course from home if necessary. So I think it's in and all of my colleagues, and we're constantly talking, I was talking to 3 of them yesterday, we're all trying to figure out what is the best way to move forward with this. And Dr. Gill and I met earlier in the week to discuss it. I spoke to Dr. Tijerina also earlier in the week, on Monday, because everybody is grappling with the same thing. This telework, the intent was for people to go back to work in person. They want people to be in their offices. They want bodies on campus. They don't want people online. They want people to be present. However, there are multiple scenarios where it may or may not be conducive. Yes, if we're teaching in one of the workforce programs and the students need to be in the lab or your science lab, or they're present, but then they're teaching online in the evening or sometime during the day. Well, how do you do both?
Right.
And so when you look at some of these schedules, some of them start at 7 in the morning and finish at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And the issue with that, and we've raised it with the coordinating board, is faculty don't get paid overtime.
Right.
There is a Fair Labor Standard Act that precludes that from happening. And so there's a lot of misunderstanding. Some institutions have said business as usual, we're going to leave it alone, we're not going to do anything. We don't have to report anything to the coordinating board or the governor, so we're going to leave it as is until we get further instruction. But the bill says that by September 1, this has to be in place.
We have to make a decision, in other
Well,
words.
it's already been made. We
By
have
when?
a plan right now.
Okay.
What we're doing now is we're researching this to try to work together as a unit, as a Texas Association of Community Colleges, and say, how are we going to do this moving forward? Are either we're all going to do it this way or we're all not going to do it this way. Are we going to interpret this law literally or are we not? And so yes, it's a balancing act, and we had this conversation, and I understand their position clearly, having been faculty, I understand it clearly, but we also have a responsibility to comply with the law. And so how do we balance that, right? And where do we, as Mr. Rangel said, where do we come to that happy medium between complying with the law and not having unrealistic expectations of our faculty?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, of course, I think we have to comply with the law, but I think that if we do comply with the law and they are able to do what they have done before, and it has never been a problem, I would like to see something like that. How, you know what I mean? As long as we comply with the law, and of course, look at maybe what the other colleges, community colleges are doing, and present that to them. But I mean, I was a teacher myself, so I do understand, as long as we are
Right.
not.
And
breaking
it's
the
a
law.
double-edged sword, because if they're teaching an overload,
Sure.
I want to clarify this.
Okay.
If they're teaching an overload, they are getting paid for that overload.
Okay.
Heriberto's looking at me like, hold on a second. Because they do, they get paid for the overload class, and you're welcome to take a seat, sir. But I think the difference is how we document that. Because I think there are also some issues with how we document it and then what our expectations are. Because I think we're also discouraging faculty from being online from, let's say, at 10 o'clock at night when our students are online.
Right.
And they normally, and I know this because students have told me, they can chat with their faculty member late in the evening after work or after class, and they can chat and faculty members will reply. And now we're putting them in a position where they're going to say, well, it's not part of my schedule. I'm not going to do that anymore. Well, then are we really complying with the law?
Yes.
And are we really doing our job as educators, right?
Are you going to say anything, Dr. Hernandez?
Yes, just a quick comment. Heriberto Hernandez, Associate Provost. We've been meeting continuously with Dr. Tijerina about this, right? Because at first, when this law first came out, what worried Dr. Maricela and myself were the 15 hours of prep time, right? And there was no way we can fit that into our current schedules. But going back to just creating a schedule that is minimally disruptive, what we had in mind, and maybe we need to communicate this better with the department chairs, is really nothing's changing from the current schedule that we have on right now. The topic of discussion is the online instruction. So for example, just to give you a quick example, in our faculty schedules that we post on the door, if we're teaching an online course, it would just simply say online. What we're suggesting is, instead of having online now, put a physical office or room number, not specifically a time, but we're designating it that some of this work is being done on campus, right? It's really not feasible to say that we're going to be able to police when folks are going to be here on an online course. But with the spirit of the law, at least we can identify, okay, this course at some point in time is going to be done from this location.
That's
right?
a really good idea.
And that really does not cause any disruption from the current schedule. It's just simply, instead of having online, it's putting a location, physical location.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Chair recognizes Ms. Elizondo.
I believe this is a very sensitive, delicate, and extremely important subject. I think that as board members, we deserve that time to further discuss this and understand truly what it is based on the needs of faculty and specifically to be in adherence with the law. So I would like to humbly ask administration and legal to further discuss this with faculty so it could be presented to us in a more digestible sense.
That's a real good
Because
idea.
right now I just feel
I
like
agree. That's fine.
And that's something, I mean, I think Dr. Ramirez is getting her notes together and she'll put something together so she can bring.
And also, just to comment on that, I think also item 9A goes hand in hand with this as well. So I think, I mean, we're discussing the faculty council and all that stuff, and I think my position will be the same on that as well, so we can all be on the same page and so we can truly understand in much depth where you're coming from, because it is very important to us to be able to stand up for you all.
Thank you.
So you want to bring up?
I would like to make a motion to bring item 9A up.
There's a motion by Ms. Elizondo, second by Ms. Ramos. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No? Okay, let me go. Approve modification to Laredo College Board Policy, BDGC Local Administrative Organization Council and Faculty Senate, and adopt an amended resolution authorizing the continuance and ratification of the Faculty Council. Dr. Hernandez, if you can, you could state, Dr. Go, because I know you still have some, but like, so then
She
that
has a
would,
motion.
yeah, there's,
I'm sorry, but I think we're gonna go over the same thing, and I don't feel that this board is prepared to move on. And I would like to make a motion to bring this item back for the next board meeting, so we could have an opportunity to meet with legal counsel and administration to further look into this item.
So it's,
Yeah.
is that 9A?
But before we do we have to read the resolution, or can we just push it to the next board meeting? I guess that's what she's saying, right?
Yes, because we're gonna go back to the same thing. I don't know about by you all as individuals, but I do not feel prepared right now because I do not know. First the legality and where faculty stands, and I want to be able to meet both.
Can we?
Right.
We won't be in violation?
But it's, don't we have to have something by September 1st? That's the
We
only
could do a
thing.
special meeting. This
A
is
special
very
meeting.
important.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you complied already because you dissolved it. You dissolved
Go ahead, Mr. Muir.
Yes, Mr. President, board members, Ms. Elizondo, I think when you look at that item, what that is a proposed policy that at some point will have to be adopted in order to continue the process of establishing the faculty council. We don't have to do that by September 1.
Oh.
So the idea of the September 1 issue was if the faculty senate doesn't comply with Senate Bill 13, then it's abolished automatically by September
We
1.
already did that.
So, and we've already covered that at the last, I think that, and I don't want to speak completely for the administration, but I think the goal was to fast track the establishment of the faculty council, and that's the reason the policy's before you now. But I completely agree with the concerns board members have expressed, and I think it's a good idea to circle back to it maybe in September, give an additional opportunity for administration interface with Dr. Gill, other members of the faculty, and then do a deeper dive with you to
Okay.
discuss the policy and the law.
Ms. Elizondo?
And maybe so we can show a sign of support, maybe it will be a good idea that one of the board members be involved, like Mr. Rangel. Or
Chair recognizes Ms. Ramos.
Or-
And I'll go back to.
So I just want to get clarification. So the faculty council is one law. And then Senate Bill 2615, which is where we were talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
So
different.
we
I'm not
want to make
talking
sure that
about
we're
that,
getting in the
yeah.
right direction, because the 9A deals with faculty council
Right.
and modification of the policy. That's all it deals with. Senate Bill 2615 deals with what we're talking about, the time. And I
Right.
think Ms. Elizondo is correct in saying we need further information. So I personally need clarification from legal, because we're talking about two different things.
Right.
2615 is what we need more clarification, but I need to ask Ms. Elizondo that, because what we're doing is we're either reading the resolution for the faculty council or getting more information for 2615.
Because they are two separate
Go
things.
If I-
ahead, Mr.
But
Muir.
that's why.
Let's put that one.
Go, Mr. Muir?
Yeah, if I may. So on the table right now is item 9A. And 9A deals with if you look at the policy, it's BGC local, and it's about faculty, senates, and council. And I think the proposal is to have that policy pushed back. The first question was, do we have to adopt it today? The answer is no. And then have a additional time to take a look at it so that faculty can give input on their modifications to the policy. So the other item that was being discussed by Dr. Gill, that does involve a different bill, and it deals with telework. And I think also the idea is that we need additional time to discuss how that's going to happen. By the way, with that one, if I can, Mr. President, very briefly, so TASB had a legal conference, I think we may have mentioned this already, in Austin a couple of weeks ago. It was attended mostly by attorneys and then some staff members. This item, bunch of bills were covered, maybe 50 to 80. The single item that raised the most questions by the lawyers in the room was this telework item. We must have spent 30 minutes on that. And this, we covered a bunch of other stuff, and 30 minutes was spent on this because there are questions, some ambiguities, and there were concerns that it was unfair. And so I agree with both of the items, incidentally. So we can take a second look at BGC local, which is item 9A.
So the one that Dr. Martinez is bringing to the table, I believe Dr. Ramirez has already understood that based on the dialogue, to visit and meet with Dr. Martinez
And
to
legal.
figure out what's the best plan midpoint for both staff and administration that they could resolve. So that's
And
already
legal.
done.
That's for their schedules,
Yeah,
right?
that's for the
Mhm.
schedule.
That's for their
So like
schedules. That's what
on
I'm
this
concerned
item
about.
that you brought up that we currently have, what do you want to do? What's your motion?
For 9A,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to direct the administration, legal, and faculty to meet to further discuss this and make sure that they're in compliance.
And then what, bring back a report to us?
And to bring it back to the next meeting, or a special meeting in the event that it's necessary.
Dr. Ramirez is just, that's fine. So you have a motion? Is there a second?
A second.
We have a motion by Ms. Elizondo, we have a second by Ms. Vela. Anybody, there's a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? One against, Ms. Ramos. Motion passes, thank you. So that one we'll put it to the next month or whenever administration is ready.
And that's based on the earlier discussion that Dr. Gill presented.
Right.
So now I'm sorry, Dr. Gill, that we kind of derailed, but please continue with your presentation.
Okay.
Chair recognizes Ms. Vela.
This pretty much just deals with office hours. Am I correct?
Pretty
Yeah, and
much.
plan, office and planning.
Office and planning,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
But, okay, I really think that what we need, and I think I understand it, but what we need explained is, how is it gonna work?
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Gill.
Okay, so my last item, it's,
Before you
yes.
move on, I'm sorry, Ms. Liendo had a question. Chair recognizes Ms. Liendo.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I think Dr. Ramirez covered it. I just wanted to make sure that I completely agree with your statements, but I want to make sure that this bill isn't going to affect the student experience, and that's what you covered.
That's,
Because we do, as students, have to sometimes communicate or even, I am a student and I have received some emails or some test scores back at 2, 3 in the morning. So I know that our faculty is working at all hours of the day and night. And it's very commendable because I know that there's so many other things that you could be doing, but I think the hours just can't be counted. If you really put it to paper, you're going to exceed the 40 hours every single week.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Liendo. Any other question on this one? Chair recognizes Ms. Newsom.
On 9A, it says that, we need to approve and the modified.
That one, Ms. Newsom, just
We just.
chairs, can we still discuss it
Right,
even though
but
it
I
already
want to
got pushed?
know when did we ever
Wait,
get to see
Ms.
the
Newsom,
approved one?
hold on. The item already passed. She wants to go. She needs to bring it back.
If you're no longer on the item, you have to bring it back.
Well, we were already on the
So
report.
you'd have to bring back that.
No.
Do you want to
Just
bring it back? You can make a
Yes,
motion
I
to bring
do.
it
I have
back.
questions.
Okay, make a motion to bring it back.
I make a motion to bring 9A back.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second.
Second.
There's a second by Judge Martinez. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? No? Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms.
I just want
Ms.
to
Newsom.
know who was supposed to share the modified version that we are supposed to approve. We're supposed to approve a modification and adopt this amended resolution. So who was supposed to show us that? The last meeting that we,
Just to answer your question, it was in the package. If either you get it physically or you get it on the email, and it's on the package right here where it pretty much explains
here.
everything.
In our booklet.
we sent it out last week in the board packet.
Yeah, in the board packet. Not that one, the other one.
The other one.
That was, Heriberto Hernandez,
It's
Associate Provost.
online.
We were also going to cover the differences and present to the board.
With the presentation.
Exactly, yes, sir.
And we'll do it
So, Ms.
next
Newsom,
month.
just for a point of order, the presentation that Dr. Hernandez was going to present, that we went ahead and we pushed it for a further date, that Ms. Elizondo went ahead and wanted, that all the questions that you probably are going to or were going to be asking, they were going to be able to cover it. but Ms. Elizondo is saying, let staff work on it, work with staff, and then come back with a report to us. Are you okay with that?
I mean,
Yes? Okay. Chair recognizes Ms. Elizondo.
And this was also based on the comment that, I mean, they have been meeting back and forth. I just want to make sure, as a responsible board of trustee, and as you guys are too, to make sure that we are gonna make a decision based on all the information that we need to know.
No, that's fine. And good, and thank you for that note. Thank you, Ms. Elizondo, and thank you, Ms. Newsom. I think Dr. Ramirez kind of already has an idea of what the vision of the board is. So we'll come back to that item with a report and all that. And Dr. Marisela Tijerina and Dr. Heriberto Hernandez will come back with a report with that. Chair recognizes Ms. Ramos.
So for the record, I didn't mean to vote against not voting, not bringing it back later. What I meant to say is that I felt like we were ready to proceed. So being that we were changing a policy and not affecting the SB 2615, that's why I voted no to bring it back. So I just want it for the record, and I just want, because I really feel like you've done a lot of work, and you're doing your part plus everything else that's happening, like the compliance and stuff. So I just felt like we should have proceeded, but that's okay. I'm ready to get more information as well too. So I just want to, for the record, I just want to make sure.
Thank you, Ms. Ramos. Go ahead, Dr. Gill, your last item. I'm sorry, we were derailing you.
So, the last meeting of the actual faculty senate, I had previously brought to the board the idea that we as a faculty senate would discuss items or things of our concerns or what have you. We would vote on it as a senate and then bring that resolution to the board. That was our intention, to keep doing them, but then this happened. So that having been said, we did manage to vote on one resolution in our final meeting. And my colleagues have still asked me to bring that to you, even though we cannot post it or anything of that nature, right? But it is this. Okay. Today, the board is going to adopt a budget. In that budget will also affect faculty contracts. In the faculty contracts, it is mandated that all faculty spend 3 hours of our 10 office hours in the library. Now, that sounds like a great thing. It sounds like, oh, you're there in the library, you're mingling with students and so forth. But I will tell you this. I started working here proudly back in 2023 after being in hiatus for 13 years. And as soon as I became faculty senate president, the very first item of concern that faculty came to me with were these 3 hours spent in the library. There are reasons there that we as a faculty senate discussed why, even though it looks good on paper, it's just not feasible for all of us for different reasons. So that having been said, all we ask is that you please consider not mandating or requiring those 3 hours to be placed in our faculty contracts. In other words, we ask that those 3 hours be returned to our regular office hours with the caveat that for faculty who do want to spend time in the library or do find it useful, that be an option for them, but not a requirement.
I'm going to go ahead and start off on this one. I have spoken to a couple of staff members, and I think it's a bit, I don't want to say harsh, but I think it might not be the best time used, you know. And the reason why I say I'm not a professor or an educator, but I do work in the educational system. So I completely understand being in your desk, and if you have a student that wants to talk to you, that's fine. You could set up those hours, in your office, and while you're grading, while you're doing maybe your next lesson or whatever, I just think it makes more sense if you ask me, right? So I have spoken to a couple of staff members and they kind of feel that it's time lost, right? Because they're just sitting there and yeah, they could take their laptop, but it's not the same thing as actually being in your office and actually doing it. And if you need to get something from your desk or something like that, it just makes a lot more sense. And then also, I have heard from a couple of staff members that are like, let's just say, I don't know, a welder for welding. What is he going to teach you at the library that he could probably teach you better at his site and say, let me show you, because it's more of a physical, instruction, right? So it just makes a lot of more sense to be able to do that. Now, if they're going, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what I've heard. Supposedly it's because it's for them to go and either I have a question on something, or how can I make this better, whatever. It's kind of like an instructional, kind of deal, right, Dr. Martinez?
Yes, sir.
So the way that I see it is, Dr. Ramirez, do we have tutors at the library that they can get if they want to get something, math problem, a science problem, or something like that?
Yes, sir. We do have professional tutors, and some of them are student tutors, and others are professional tutors or older student tutors. But they're not always available all day long, right? So they go when their schedule allows. We do have professional tutors. Faculty are currently, right now, in their contract, it does say that 3 hours must be done in the library. It is my understanding that for some who have requested to be allowed to do their 3 hours in their lab, it is possible upon request, and they, obviously they submit a request in writing to the provost office or their dean, and I think those allowances can be made. But, I mean, it is something, it's not on the agenda today, and we can put it on the agenda for discussion, but this is a resolution that they brought to Dr. Martinez back in the spring. It kind of died away at the end of the semester, and so now he's back at the request of the faculty. But yes, to answer, the short answer is yes.
So before I start calling, I think this is another thing that could probably be tied into that item that could, when you're gonna have that meeting that Ms. Elizondo said, I think it's best that you guys and the administration meet. I think this is something where, again, where's middle ground, right? And I think all of this is important to be able to be in that topic whenever you guys meet, to bring back, like Ms. Elizondo said, more information, so we could be, aware of exactly what is being asked from staff, but then also what is being asked from administration, and where's middle ground, right? So I think it's something doable. I think Dr.
Well,
Ramirez, if you could look into it.
Just word of caution, we do struggle finding tutors, especially in math and science and in business. We find it's hard to find tutors in certain areas. And the second thing is, ideally what we want, and is to bring people to campus, and this is by providing that service on campus, accessible to all students. It is one way for us to try to get students to show up, right? And in person, and not just online. And while I think there's room for us to be a little flexible, especially in the lab areas, in the music and art, and where those students may, instead of report to the library, may want to be in their lab area, in the theater, in, wherever it might be. I do think that before we throw the baby out with the bathwater, we need to take a deep dive and look at the numbers and see, how many students are actually showing up. And because they sign in when they do come, and then what kind of service are they getting? Maybe we need to do a survey of our students. Mr. Rivera's in the room, and maybe we survey the students and ask them how they feel about this and what their opinion is about what happens when they go to the library for support. Are they getting enough support? Do we always have a math tutor available? My answer, off the top of my head, I'd probably say no. But we do the best we can to try to fill those positions, and so we do have them available.
I'm gonna go ahead and, I think the item is just a report, so I just feel that we're getting way off topic. Ms. Vela, you'll have the last word on this. I know.
You have two ex-faculty members on the board, and I just want to know the rationale behind having to sit in the library for 3 hours.
Yeah, well, it's 3 hours a week.
And I mean,
Yeah.
this is something that you need to explain to us.
So with
Or it
that,
needs to be.
with that, I just think it's best that, I think Dr. Ramirez already got the idea that she needs to meet with them. So just allow it, and it's just point of order because it's not in an item that we posted. It was just a report. So I just think it's best to allow Dr. Ramirez to meet with them and then go from there. The only comment that I will mention that I forgot on your first item, Dr. Gill, in our finance committee meeting, Ms. Elizondo made a very good point of, if you guys would like, of course, to maybe allow one or two trustees to be in the, not a committee, but in making the I guess what is it called? Your all's new, I don't want to say Senate, but.
Absolutely.
And,
I mean,
and
it-
again,
it's-
and the reason why I'm saying that is, I mean, we have Ms. Vela, that's an ex employee, so she's gonna understand. And then we have Judge Martinez, but if you guys take it back, food for thought, and if you guys will welcome, I would
Sure.
like to appoint maybe one or two trustees to your all's meetings, so we could go from there. Yes, sir.
Very briefly, we also have to be careful that a lot of this is administrative
Yes.
authority, and as a general rule,
Mhm.
the board, certainly board members, but the board does not get into administrating
Exactly.
issues like faculty schedules and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Now, item 9A, that's a board policy. We talked about that. That's important. That should be brought back to the board. The other bill that we talked about too is essentially a law and board
Yeah.
policy that the board can discuss. But again, a lot of this is administrative.
And
in
hence,
nature.
that's the reason why I'm saying just allow Dr. Ramirez, because she's our liaison for the board and staff. So that's why I'm saying that's why I wanted to stop it and just say, allow her to get to work with staff and go from there. So with that being said, if you do welcome, let me know,
Sure,
Dr.
yeah,
Martinez. I'd like to appoint two of our trustees to join. Oh, we can. No. Oh, we can.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
We
I was-
cannot take any action
Oh,
on
okay.
this item. Yeah.
But that's fine.
It's just a report.
Okay. So anything else, Dr.
Yeah, I just want to say that, two things, if I may offer. There was a survey done in the fall of 2023. It was reported in 2024. They asked the students how helpful they found faculty being in the class area. 23% said that it was helpful. That's below 25%. That doesn't account for the variance. So basically saying, no, not helpful at all. Now, when they asked the students, how do you feel other students tutoring you? That was much higher. That was 60 or so percent. So that's the first thing that I want to say. The reason I'm here right now is because I did ask a year ago. I didn't sit on this for 2 years after the faculty were telling me, hey, we don't like this, it's not fair, and so forth. And I'll give you an example. Yes, my math colleagues, they clock in and they're tutoring from the beginning to the end. I clock in, I'm sitting there. It's not fair to them. Now, if the student came to me for help with algebra, pobrecito, it's not going to happen. So I couldn't even help them if I wanted to. So it's not fair either way, right? And so we can go on. And I just kind of wanted to offer that to the board that I did bring it up a year ago. And a year ago, I was told, oh, it's already written into our contracts. We can't do anything about it. So I said, okay, well, I'll come back the next year. And that's why I'm here. And
Okay.
that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
so much, Dr.
Thank you,
Gill.
appreciate it.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move to item 6, board committee reports. We're going to start off with 6A, Student Success Committee meeting report by Ms. Erica Benavides Garcia. Go ahead, Ms. Benavides.
Yes, good evening. I have great news to report to you all from our Student Success Committee meeting. We did have a meeting on Monday, and on our agenda were several items. The first one was Laredo College's Student Success Report Card as required by the Southern Association of Colleges and School Commissions on Colleges, which is SACS-COC. And that is our school report card, okay? And this report card is an accountability tool that measures and communicates the performance and progress of our students within this institution. And some of the metrics it includes are 15 semester credit hours on dual credit, transfer with 15 semester credit hours, institutional credential learning to licensure to get your certifications and licenses, occupational skills awards, certificates, associate's degrees, and bachelor's degrees. We are graded on those things, okay? So with that, I'm going to tell you how we are doing, and we are doing very well, okay? With that, in the first indicator, which is 15 semester credit hours, we rank among our peers, we rank number 1.
Great.
Okay?
Excellent.
Among all 50 community colleges in this state, we rank number 11. So we're doing fantastic.
Out of how many?
Out of all the colleges in Texas,
50.
the community colleges, which are over 50.
Over 50. Excellent.
Okay? Then we have transfer with the 15 semester credit hours. We rank number 2 with our peers and number 12 in the state of all community colleges. Okay? The institutional credential leading to licensure, we rank 3 with our peers and 7 in the state of Texas. Occupational skills awards, with our peers, we rank 2nd, and in the state, we rank 11th, which is excellent also. We're in the top quarter. Our certifications, we rank 4th with our peers and 17th in our state. With our associate's degrees, we rank 4th in our peers and 15th among the 50 colleges. And with bachelor's degrees, we rank number 1. Okay? And 8th in the state of Texas. So our report card, ladies and gentlemen, is looking very good. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you all for all your hard work. Okay? That was that. Yes, everybody, you really do. Okay, that was the first thing. Then we went on to the enrollment, okay? Enrollment at Laredo College, with a 3-year average, we also ranked 3rd in the state. 3rd with our peers with an average of 10,163 students. So we're doing very well, even in attendance, okay? The enrollment has increased steadily from the fall of 2022 when we had 9,200 students to today, which we have over 11,000. This semester we have 11,046 and we're up 19 students from last year. And we still have 4 weeks, I think 4 weeks to go for our second 8-week enrollment. So we still are going to grow more. So we are doing better and better, okay? Then we go on to dual enrollment. I did want to let you know, because I think Miss Lizzie asked that question, that how is the dual enrollment in the state of Texas, like as compared to us, right? What are the numbers? Well, the numbers average 50-50, as do ours. So all the community colleges that offer dual credit courses the way we do to our school districts, it's pretty much the same. Okay, so that's just a thing I wanted to let you all know.
So we're in an equal basis in
Yes,
a
sir.
manner of speaking,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Okay,
That's
on
good.
attendance, on enrollment,
Enrollment,
okay?
excellent.
And then our 1-year persistence rate, it's also increased. These are students who continue their studies at the college from one academic year to the other. In the fall of 2023, our rate was 66%. And then in the fall of 2022-23, it rose to 69%. And then this last year, it's at 71%. So we are growing as well. Our students are staying with us longer. Okay? Then we also have a steady rise in our graduation rates from the last 3 years. In fall of 2019 to 2022, our rate was 26.9% graduation rate. Okay? In the fall of 20 to 23, it rose to 31. And in the fall of 21 to 24, it rose to 34.4. So also we are making progress. We have a ways to go, but we are making progress there. It says these are students who complete a degree or certificate within half of the normal program length, which is 3 years for a 2-year associate's program. We had a total of 495 candidates for graduation this August. So that was really, really good, because those are big numbers for a summer graduation. Okay, so I think we are doing well. Now, degree efficiency. These are students that are getting their degrees at a faster pace than the past. The average student credit hours it takes went from 72 to 68. So in other words, now that we teach 8-week courses and 4-week courses, students are getting their degrees faster, which is something that we want. And they're getting their hours and they're continuing. That's what our numbers are showing us. Okay, so all of that to me is very good news for all of our faculty and our staff and everybody in all the divisions and departments that work to make that happen. Okay. Next, our student success rate also increased in the last 3 years from 77.16 to 85.49. This measures the percentage of courses completed with grades A, B, or C. So more are meeting course objectives and progressing towards completion. We're doing very well with our student success rates. We also talked about government-funded grants. In the last 3 years, we had 12.5 million government-funded grants. 6.7 were from federal funds and 5.8 were from state funds. We discussed development and grants in the last 3 years. We have gained 11.5 million, 4.5 coming in endowments, 4 million in scholarships, and 3 million coming from donations and grants these past 3 years, which has grown exponentially, I think. Over the past 3 years, 3,994 students have benefited from scholarships from Laredo College, with a notable jump from 22-23, we had 1,186. And then in 24-25, we had 1,739. So that makes up almost half of the 3,900 students that we have given scholarships to. Then we moved on to student orientation. Orientation was held at both campuses, Fort Mac and at the South Campus. We had 4 dates at Fort Mac, totaling 876 students attending, and 3 dates at the South Campus, totaling 295. So there was a total of 1,171 students attending orientation. Orientation is mandatory, and if students can't attend, they have the opportunity to meet with advisors and do it online. This orientation acquaints students with the LC basics and essentials for student success, and it prepares them for their first class day. The orientation was put on by student leaders, and it started at 9 a.m. and ended at 5. And it included meals and snacks. The student feedback that we heard was very, very positive. So congratulations to Pedro and his whole team. Congratulations. Laredo College Workforce Educate, yes.
Ms. Garcia, we have
You want to
this,
do it right now?
we have
Good
your
for you.
certificates ready if you want to
I just have
recognize.
one more
Okay.
portion, and then we're going to give you all your certificates, okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, that way I can finish. Then we went, Dr. Heriberto Hernandez presented to us the College Workforce Education Program Advisory Committee overview, okay? Each division of the Workforce Education and Health Science Division has an advisory committee. And how many divisions are there, Dr. Heriberto? I think there was like, how many divisions do you have?
So there's 3 divisions. There's the Health Science Division, the Workforce Education Division, and the Community Education Division.
So you have,
So within those divisions of health sciences and the workforce, we're looking at approximately 17 departments and close to 40 different programs.
perfect. So it says, each division, they meet once each semester and are comprised of community members in that field, educational partners, faculty members, and staff, as well as part-time faculty who hold full-time positions in that field. Their key functions include industry insight and guidance, curriculum improvement, and program evaluation and success. The benefits of these advisory committees are direct industry alignment, curriculum and program quality, work-based learning and student opportunities, which a lot of these students do get hired by these advisors or these companies that work and partner with us, and the evidence for funding and accountability. So I think that with that, I mean, we're doing a fantastic job there as well. So congratulations to everybody in this area.
Chair
I
recognizes
think
Judge
we need to
Martinez.
compliment Ms. Garcia for doing an exceptional job in her report. So,
Thank
really done a
thank you,
great
Ms.
job,
Garcia.
lady.
Uh,
Excellent.
And just to chime in on yours, Mr. Rivera, I've been coming for a couple of meetings, and I've been seeing those kids with those clear bags. So that's really cool. Yeah, I know you mentioned it, so congratulate you and your staff. Chair recognizes Ms. Vela.
And I saw the donuts.
The green donuts.
The green-
They look so good, the green ones with the yellow sprinkles.
Chair recognizes Ms. Elizondo.
I just want to say thank you and congratulations. It makes me so happy to see so many of you all happy and everything that you guys are doing. So it's just a pleasure and an honor to be here. And thank you, Mr. Garcia.
And I think that
And to
all of
all
that
your team and
shows.
everyone that's
Yeah.
here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And I think those happy faces, that's why you see all our numbers growing and all of that. You know, it has
And-
everything to do with everybody, but it starts with your advisors and your teachers and people making the decisions to make this the place to be.
And
Thank you, Ms. Benavides, for your report. And on behalf of Ms. Benavides, we're going to be calling the students out. She's going to go ahead and be presenting with a little certificate for each one of you. Dr.
Great
Ramirez,
job.
can you be calling them
Congratulations
out?
to all of you.
Sure.
We all go to the front so we
Yes,
can
so
take
that
a
we can all
picture.
do that.
I have the honor of introducing this year's orientation leaders. Akemi Nakazono. Natty Flores. Nati, sorry, Nati. Nini Ballesteros. Mena Vasquez. Jocelyn Martinez. Manny Escobedo. Jonathan Boogie Nieto, no stranger to this group. Kiana Martinez. Magali Carolina de la Cruz Coronado. Itzel Pérez. Yameli Yami Perez. Roxanne Jimenez. Where are you, Roxy? Alejandro Guardiola. Arieli Ari Rodriguez. And Misael Ortega. Come on, Misa. And Mr. Pedro Rivera and Miss Mariana Rodriguez, please join us for the photo. If we can line up for a photo. Thank you, Mariana.
Okay. Okay, wait. Misa? Yes, there. Okay, everyone good? Okay. Big smiles, everyone. On three. 1, 2, 3. Follow me all. 1, 2, 3.
Start here, transfer somewhere.
Bye, thank you.
So it was just easy, but I wanted No, but it's because this is, I wanted to do that for, you know.
I can't judge. Okay.
She went to the bathroom.
So I think that, thank you, Ms. Benavides Garcia, for that great report. And I think seeing that, that's the perfect example why we're here, right? And it's just beautiful to see that, honestly. So congratulations to Ms. Garcia for giving them a nice little
Well,
certification.
congratulations to you already.
So item
I'm just
6B,
reporting.
Finance and Audit Committee, a meeting report by Ms. Ernestina Tita Cantu Vela.
Yes, we met yesterday at noon, and it was extremely productive. It really was. We went through the financial report, and we're very sound. We do have some money, hoping for more. And then we went ahead and discussed a couple of stuff that we need approval on. One of them was, so we discussed the annual subscription for the library Sears Dynex Enterprise System, which is basically, it's used by the library and it's a banner system for them. And so that's again a renewal. A lot of these are renewals because since the school year is starting, this is what it. Now, the next one was, again, an annual license renewal for the Turnitin Feedback Studio Enterprise. And this is really an interesting one. It's a software that's actually used for plagiarism. I'm glad we didn't have that when I was at school. But anyway, they have it now.
That's
Whoa.
hilarious.
The next one is the purchase of equipment and supplies for the forensic science program. And I think that is so interesting.
All
And what if the
females.
professor was here?
All females.
They're all females in the program. There's 40 females. And it's getting ready to get started. They need quite a bit of equipment that we had to approve for them. But they're all females that have signed up for this program. And the need for this is unreal. I really think it's because of, forensic files and all these TV programs that people are interested in this. Anyway, but that was really caught my attention, especially the female. The next was the discussion of the Computer Solutions Annual Net Watch Managed Service Agreement. And this deals with monitoring all of our services on campus, which we know is extremely important. Then we went into the insurance premium renewals for the academic year. And believe it or not, it's down by not quite 1%, but it is 1%. And that's something that normally goes up. Our insurance usually does go up every year. And this year it's not quite 1%, but 0.88, which is pretty good. The last was the proposed budget, and I'm going to tell you, I've got to commend Mr. Vela and all his staff. It was an incredible presentation that we had. We've been working on this budget for almost 2 months, right? We've had workshops and we've gone through everything, and your presentation was really, really good. I commend you all. And then the last was we discussed the proposal of the budget and the budget and the property tax rate, which we approved.
Yes.
We approved that. We'll approve, tonight.
Yeah.
So, any questions on anything?
No, I just want to go ahead and thank you, Ms. Vela, for the report. I was able to sit on both the student success and the finance. If we could, I do want to go ahead and mention to Dr. Ramirez, can we have both reports on student success and the report that Mr. Vela presented? Can you have it emailed to us?
Sure.
Because I think that way everybody could kind of see it. I think it was a really, really good report by Mr. Vela. But yes.
I think he gave us.
You have it on you have a
He
copy,
gave
but
us
we'll
copies,
send it
remember?
electronically as well.
I
Yes.
think it's important
And-
for all of us to see it. So yes, Chair recognizes Ms. Elizondo.
And also for the record, I just want to make notation that everybody was present.
Everybody was
We were
present.
accompanied by our
Yeah.
president, Mr. Rangel, so we got to listen to the entire presentation. And on behalf of this board, I would like to thank administration and Mr. Vela, Mr. Arrazola, who also presented to this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Anything else? Nobody?
Anything else? No?
Okay.
Well, with that being said, I would like to make a motion to bring up 9C, fiscal year 2026 budget and 2025 property tax rate based on the notation of Ms. Tita, and also given the fact that our tax assessor is here, Ms. Patricia Barrera. We don't want
Okay.
to keep you any longer.
There's a motion by Ms. Elizondo to bring up item 9C. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Second by Ms. Vela. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No? Motion
No.
passes. Thank you.
Mr. Rangel,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to approve 9C1, 9C2, 9C3.
We have to do it a little bit different, yeah, there's a script that we need to be able to follow. I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and then you're more than happy to make a motion to approve. I'm gonna go ahead and start 9C1, resolution adopting the FY 2026 budget. We will now move to item 9C1, which reads, resolution adopting fiscal year 2026 budget. For this item, the board will be asked to adopt the 2026 fiscal year budget for Laredo College. A resolution must be read out loud and afterwards voted by the board. We will then take a record vote. Mr. Cesar Vela and Ms. Patricia Barrera will present this item. Mr. Vela and Ms. Barrera, please proceed.
Good evening, board members. For the record, Cesar Vela, VP of Finance and Administration. In front of you, you have a copy of the presentation.
Can the resolution please be read?
Okay.
As I made a motion to approve, so it is my
Oh.
understanding that the language needs to be read in order for this board to read.
Okay, well then, I call on someone to read the resolution to adopt a fiscal 2026 budget, and I call in order, Ms. Ramos.
Resolution adopting budget for fiscal year 2026, whereas each year the Board of Trustees of the Laredo College District is required to have a budget prepared showing the estimated revenue and proposed expenditures for the succeeding school year, and to cause the same to be filed in accordance with the rules and regulations prescribed by the Texas Higher Education Board, and whereas such a budget has been prepared and the public has been given notice that such budget would be presented for discussion and adoption on August the 20th, 2025, at the time and place specified in such notice, and whereas such budget has been discussed and a majority of the Board of Trustees wish to adopt same for fiscal year 2026. Be it resolved, therefore, that such budget be adopted, and same is hereby adopted in all things adopted on this 20th day of August 2025 by the Board of Trustees. That is the resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Ramos. I call for a motion to approve the resolution and adopt the fiscal year budget 2026. I'm going to go ahead and grab the motion that Ms. Elizondo made earlier. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Second by Judge Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Do I have a second? I'm sorry. 9C2, hold on. 9C2, resolution adopting 2025 property tax rate. We'll now move to item 9C2, which reads resolution adopting the 2025 property tax rate. For this item, the board will be asked to adopt the property tax rate of 2025. The property tax rate is set at 0.229249 per 100 per 100 valuation, I'm sorry, for $100 valuation of taxable property, of which 0.194799 shall be for maintenance and operation, and 0.034470 shall be for debt retirement. A resolution must be read out loud and afterwards voted on the board, voted by the board. A record vote will be taken. Mr. Vela and Ms. Patricia Barrera will present this item. Mr. Vela, please proceed unless there's a motion.
I make a motion.
There's a motion by Ms. Ramos. There's a second by Ms. Alexander. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was about to read the motion.
Sorry. I apologize for that. Ms. Ramos, can you make the motion, please?
I move that the Laredo College Board of Trustees adopt a property tax rate set at 0.229249 per $100 valuation of taxable property, of which 0.194799 shall be for maintenance and operations, and 0.034470 shall be for debt retirement. As part of my motion, I ask that the board approve the resolution read into the record and adopted the 2025 property tax rate. I shall read the resolution.
Yes. Hold on. Yes. Go ahead, Ms. Ramos.
Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Laredo College District, in order to levy ad valorem taxes, is required to set and establish a tax rate each year, and whereas such Board of Trustees has considered this matter and desires to set the 2025 property tax rate, be it resolved, therefore, that on August the 20th, 2025, the 2025 property tax rate. B, and the same is hereby set at 0.229249 per $100 valuation of taxable property, of which 0.194779 shall be for maintenance and operations, and 0.034470 shall be for debt retirement. Such taxes are to be assessed and collected by the tax officials designated by Laredo College, adopted on this 20th day of August 2025 by the Board of Trustees, and I have stated my motion. For the record,
There's a motion by Ms. Ramos, there's a second by Ms. Elizondo and Ms. Alexander. I'm sorry, I've just been told that we need to take a record vote. So, Esteban, aye. Vote for.
Jackie Ramos, aye.
Tita Vela, aye.
Cindy Liendo, aye.
Erica Benavides Garcia, aye.
Mercurio Martinez, aye.
Adriana Alexander, aye.
Daisy Newsom, aye.
Karina Elizondo, aye.
Okay. Anybody against? No, of course. Motion passes. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's important also to let the community know that there has been a reduction in tax rate by
Yes.
Laredo College
Yes.
and the administration.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. And thank you, Mr. Vela and Ms. Herrera for helping us with that. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We have one more. Item 9C3, resolution authorizing collection of general use fees and expenditures of funds for the fiscal year 2026. We will now move to item 9C3, which reads, resolution authorizing collection of general use fees and expenditures of funds for fiscal year 2026. For this item, I will call Mr. Vela to present, but I believe it already been passed. Now we're going to read the resolution.
The resolution?
The motion and the resolution.
The motion. I move that the Laredo College Board of Trustees approve and adopt the resolution authorizing the collection of a general use fee set at $50 per semester credit hour for fiscal year 2026, and the expenditure of funds for fiscal year 2026 as itemized in the resolution read into record. I shall read the resolution. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Laredo College District is authorized to fix and collect tuition and fees from students for the use of its property, buildings, and facilities, and whereas such Board of Trustees has deemed it necessary and advisable to collect a general use fee from students for the use of its property, buildings, and facilities, and to apply such proceeds to the payment of principal and interest of certain revenue bonds issued and sold in 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2020 for expenses generally associated with construction, reconstruction, remodeling, and repair of its property, buildings, and facilities. And whereas such Board of Trustees has determined that such general use fee should be set at $50 per semester credit hour for fiscal year 2026 to be used as follows. Approximately $4,324,333 for revenue bond debt service, approximately $1 million to be retained as a general revenue for expenses related to physical plant operations and maintenance, the balance for payment of construction, reconstruction, remodeling, and repair of property, buildings, and facilities. Be it resolved, therefore, that a general use fee be collected from students at the time of registration in the amount of $50 per semester credit hour for the fiscal year 2026, adopted on this 20th day of August 2025 by the Board of Trustees. I have stated my motion and read the resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Ramos. There's a motion by Ms. Ramos. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Tita Vela. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No. Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vela. Thank you, Ms. Ramos, for helping me with that one. We're going to go ahead and move on to item 7A, fiscal year 2024-2025 grant activities by Ms. Lozano. Mr. Lozano, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Gabriel Lozano, go ahead, sir.
Yes, Board President, board members, Dr. Ramirez, administration, faculty, and staff. My name is Gabriel Lozano, Director of Grants for Laredo College, and I'm here with Francisco Reyes, who's our grant writer. This is the whole department right here, so get to meet everybody. So I just wanted to give you all, and I did the same thing last year, just an annual report. I know some of our activity has been embedded in some other reports that you all have seen, but I'd just like to, first give you my report and then open the floor to any questions you might have right now. Due to our federal government situation, there's a lot of things that are up in the air and that we're not too sure of. So if y'all have any questions, when I'm done, y'all want to ask them. So this is a fiscal year 24-25 report. We go by this time period because it's a little bit easier to track, and it's in line with our financial year. So I'm going to go over the grants that we have received. Let me change this. Well, first of all, I'm going to go over, there we go. On top, in this, it's almost 12 months exactly, right, until the end of the month, but our office has submitted 31 applications. The total amount of the grants that we requested were $16,823,135. So that's in time period of fiscal year 24-25. The number of grants that we got awarded are broken down in the document in your packet. So if y'all have any questions, there was too many, so I really couldn't fit them all in there, but they're all detailed there. In this fiscal year, we were awarded a total of 19 grants in the amount of $4,557,611. 2 of those grants were federal, amount of $3,009,105. 7 state grants valued at $656,254, and 10 local corporate foundation grants in the amount of $892,252. So that's our report for this fiscal year. Just to report to you all that, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Ramirez because she supports us 100% and is always there and giving us the what we need to do our jobs, you know, and pursue funds, especially in this environment, which is really uneasy and worrisome. But you know, we're pushing forward. We just got a notice yesterday. We're trying to like diversify where we ask money from. So we got a grant from the James Avery Foundation, which is the jewelry store. So they're going to help us with our art gala that the foundation's putting on in the fall, and some art supplies for our art department. So we're having to broaden the spectrum. You know, normally we just focus on certain areas, but I just wanted to report you all some of the activities that we're doing, and if y'all have any questions.
Me too.
Thank you, Mr. Lozano. I just want to go ahead and I don't have any questions, but I do want to make a comment before I allow questions. Dr. Ramirez speaks very highly of you both, of the hard work that you all do,
Thank you.
like she always tells us. So thank you so much for what you know, for the hard work that you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Chair recognizes Ms. Liendo and then
Thank
Ms.
you.
Elizondo.
Thank you. Mr. Lozano, so you just mentioned that there's 2 of you in your department.
Yes, ma'am.
So you write and administer the grants? Or is there somebody else who does?
So
the
normally
administration
we
part?
don't manage them per se, because a lot of, especially the bigger ones, they have personnel embedded within the application that they're in charge of administering. The part that is probably one of the most difficult parts of these grants is what the finance department does, is because we have a manager, her name is Susana Carrion, she's in charge of all the grants. So all the financial reporting, all the, you know, so she does a lot of the work when
Because
it
I've
comes
been
to.
on all sides of
Yeah.
grants and it's not easy.
It's not easy, yeah. So that part, and then, you know, Dr. Ramirez too does a lot of the programmatic stuff. It's really a team effort, and you know, sometimes we have to really analyze what we're doing, because, you know, we can be getting them left and right, and then it's like, wait a minute, we don't want to, you know, overburden, you know, our people, right? The people that are in charge of managing and
And that's why I was asking, because I just wanted to make sure that you had enough people to do everything that you need to do. And you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And for the record, we picked up second installment from Dayano today for construction management. Dr. Hernandez did a wonderful presentation to the Dayano Foundation, which is a grant they wrote in conjunction with Dr. Hernandez last year. And so that's how we kicked off our construction management program. And so it's that kind of collaborative work that makes these things happen. I think one of the biggest we've gotten is the $250,000 for the Arechiga building from the Moody Foundation. And that's something they've found on the internet. And so they're always looking. And so congratulations to both of you for your work. And we certainly do appreciate it, but I know the departments really appreciate it. I know we're always bombarding you and Susana with stuff, but both departments do an outstanding job. It's hard to keep up with that. It is, and anybody that's worked on grants knows that, so, thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Elizondo.
I just want to say, wow, it's very impressive. The numbers that you guys are showing us tonight, they're incredible, especially given the fact that you guys are not on commission, but rather salary.
We can bring up an item in the next board meeting.
So I just want
We
to
have it
say.
ready, don't worry, we can.
We've been working on that one.
Yeah. We gotta get these numbers higher than maybe we can.
Muchas gracias de corazón por
Yes, ma'am.
todo lo
Thank
que
you.
hacen. Mis respetos.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? No?
Thank you.
No? Well, on behalf of the board, thank you for the hard work that
Thank
you
you,
do,
sir.
sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Item 7B, Foreign Trade Zone Designation Request. Dr. Ramirez?
Yes, sir, thank you. Just to let you all know, we did receive 2 requests from the city of Laredo for Brennan and Company and Off Customs, Inc. For a free trade zone permission. And we did issue the letters to them already, and so as required by local policy, I'm bringing them to you. They're in your packet so that you can see who they are and how much space they are requesting. We did have a meeting with our Webb County appraiser, Mr. Bobby Paraguay. Ms. Garcia was present, and we did discuss this item. I don't know if you want to
Yes.
say anything to
We
that.
discussed it because I was like wondering, hey, I mean, we're always approving all these tax breaks for, which is less money for us, right? So I did some investigation and spoke to him, and some of the points of interest, I think, for the college to know is that the foreign trade zone designations only impact a very specific type of inventory. Like, in other words, if their warehouse is 200, let's say, square feet, 200,000 square feet or whatever, and they have their inventory in just 20,000 square feet, that's the only thing that we are giving them permission to be in the trade zone, okay? So at the end of the day, when we looked at everything, it says with an appraisal roll of over 51 million, with an appraisal roll of over $51 billion, the actual value tied to any inventory designated as an FTC is a very small fraction of the total inventory currently being taxed in Webb County. In other words, Webb County taxes are over 51 billion. And what we are giving away is 1/10 of 1% of that. So at the end of the day, it's really, really small, because I was like, we're giving everything away, or all, I'm just wondering why or what's going on. So I just wanted to let you all know that it's not, yeah, it's not a law. We're doing,
It's a nominal amount.
yes.
Well, thank you so much, Ms.
You're
Garcia, for
welcome.
following up on that.
Yes.
We really do appreciate that. So there's no action needed there. So item 8, consent agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to approve consent agenda 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, 8E, 8F, and 8G.
I second.
There's this motion by Ms. Liendo. There's a second by Ms. Alexander and Ms. Elizondo. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion passes. Thank you. Discussion and possible action, item 9B, approval of Senate Bill 17, fiscal year 2025 compliance certification. Dr. Ariasola.
Good evening, members of the board. President Ramirez, David Arizola, Vice President for Compliance and Risk Management, and Interim Vice President for Student Success Enrollment, for the record. Last year, actually it's been about 2 years, that Senate Bill 17 was passed by the Texas legislature. In a sense, what Senate Bill 17 asks us the board to do, in particular the board president to do, is to certify that the college is not engaging in any activities or anything related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Again, it sounds a little strange, but that's in a sense what we're certifying. So again, Texas Education Code 513525 requires every board to certify compliance with Senate Bill 17, and we have to do this every year before September 1st. We're certifying that institutions cannot spend any state appropriations for the fiscal year until certification is submitted. And again, it's due annually. So what we do as an administration before bringing this to you all, and again, particularly to Commissioner Rangel, is we review all our policies, we review all our practices, we'll do an audit of some of the things that we do that might be in the area of requiring DEI practices. We make sure that everything's good, and once it is, we'll bring forth the certification of compliance to the board president. We'll then submit that to the coordinating board and to the Texas legislature, and then keep a copy for our offices. Right? So again, what exactly is it that you're certifying as a board when you turn in the certification? That we have no prohibited DEI offices, so we're not allowed to have an office dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusion, no DEI activities, that none of our employees or contractors are performing any DEI functions, that all our hiring decisions are colorblind and gender neutral, that there are no prohibited DEI statements or preferences used in any of our hiring practices, that we're not requiring our employees to attend any DEI trainings or sit in on any DEI trainings, and that the college has policies to discipline any violations. Right? And lastly, again, that no state appropriations are spent before certification. Actually, Mr. Vela makes sure of that. He doesn't let us spend anything.
Mr. Chairman.
He doesn't even.
What does
Chair
the
recognizes
DEI
Judge
stand
Martinez.
for, please?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I'm sorry?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
All right, thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
what I did for your peace of mind, because when you read the certification statement, there's a bunch of check boxes, right? And you're just checking off that you certify that these things are true. But so for your peace of mind, I went through each of the certification statements and tied them to an accompanying policy, right? So I won't go through all of them, but you can read them. So for us to say that there are no DEI offices or units or any hiring practices based on race, sex, color, ethnicity, that we're colorblind, and as far as our hiring practices are concerned, that's covered by BG Local and BG Legal, right? That there are no units that are promoting policies and procedures that reference race or color. Again, that's covered by BG Local and Legal. So each one of the statements that you're certifying as a board is covered by one of our policies here. So we are in our policy audit, we're okay as far as you signing off that we are in compliance with Senate Bill 17.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ramos.
So we're certifying the certification.
Yes.
Let me say it again. We're certifying the certification.
Correct.
Just so Mr. Verga, I won't say that I turn on. I make a motion to approve the compliance certification to satisfy the Senate Bill 17 for fiscal year 2025.
There's a motion by Ms. Ramos. Is there a second by Ms. Tita Vela? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No? Motion passes. Thank you. Ms. Bocanera, can we also have that presentation sent with the other two? Thank you. Okay, item 10, 10A. Consultation with legal counsel, consultation with legal counsel regarding amendment to donor agreement pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and 551.073. Do I have a motion to go to executive session? There's a motion by Ms. Ramos. There's a second by Ms. Benavides Garcia. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No? Motion passes. We are going to executive session, and it is 7:57.
7:57. You're welcome. Thank you.
We are reconvening from executive session. No action was taken, and it's approximately 8:03 p.m. Item 11A, consideration and ratification of amendment to donor agreement. Ms. Liendo.
I move that the board approve the ratification of the amendment to the donor agreement.
There's a motion by Ms. Liendo.
I'll second it.
There's a second by Ms. Vela. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No, motion passes. Thank you. Item 12A, campus police personal and travel report, Dr. Ramirez. And item 12B, president remarks, Dr. Ramirez.
Thank you very much, sir. In your packets are our campus police reports and our travel reports, so that everybody has that available to them. As far as remarks are concerned, I do want to thank the administrators, the faculty, the staff. We were able to kick off this week our fall semester, our first 8 weeks, and our first 4-week semester. And this week has been welcome week for our students, and the staff and everybody helped out. Today they had the hamburger bash and at both campuses, and so things have been going extremely well. We've had a little slowdowns in our system, but overall things have worked out much better this fall than last fall for sure, and our numbers continue to escalate. I did want to mention, as I did earlier, we did have a meeting with the Llano Trust and Mr. Dennis Nixon this morning. Dr. Heriberto Hernandez did a presentation of where we were with our construction management program. They were extremely pleased with our report, our progress report, and gave us the second installment of that donation. In your packets, you also have a copy of the FY26 board meeting agendas, so that you have them ahead of time. And again, this is in hopes of us being able to get everything in on time and move along better. Most of the new laws that were passed in the 89th legislative session have a hard start date of September 1st. And we're at this point working diligently throughout the campus to make sure that we comply with all of that. There are about 80 bills that will affect higher education this coming year. And so we're trying our best to put all of that together and keep things rolling so that we are in compliance. And we are on track, and I'm looking at Dr. Martinez and Ms. Lopez and Dr. Ariazola. We are on track to submit our SACS report the first week of September. It looks like things are going very, very well. I have no doubt that all of our links will work, and so that's always a big problem. But I do want to thank them specifically because I know it's been a huge labor of love this year to get that 5th year report done. So thank you very much to all of the people who have been contributing to that.
Thank you.
I also want to recognize Linda Gomez and her staff and Mr. Vela and his team for getting the budget done and taken care of, and you all for allowing us to move this meeting up a week so that we could actually have time to roll over budget so that everything is ready to go on September 1st. So with that, I do want to thank all of you for your due diligence, for showing up to committee meetings, for being prepared and reading the packets that we sent you, so that you would have the information you need to make the best decision for the future of our college. And with that, muchísimas gracias on behalf of all of us, and I'm done.
Thank you, Dr. Ramirez.
you.
I do want to chime in a little bit on Dr. Ramirez. Yes, I want to thank everybody that's working on SACS. Thank you so much. That's very important. Without it, we're nothing. And of course, without money, we're nothing either. So Cesar, congratulations to you and your team for passing this. Go relax now and have a good time. With that being said, I do want to go ahead and, now that I have my board members all together, it's very important, speaking about SACS, that we comply with trainings. They're very, very important because we need to submit some of those trainings. We need to report to SACS that all of us are in compliance. If for whatever reason, I know Miss Bocanegra sends emails on reminders and all that. If for whatever reason you are having a hard time getting a training done, please feel free to call her. She will set you up in the president's office so you could go through the training. They'll print out the certification and everything, and she'll try to make it and expedite it as fast as possible. Now with the new Senate bill, we are required to do a lot of more trainings. So Ms. Bocanegra would later on be emailing you on what we need to do. But with that, I went ahead and I asked Ms. Ramos as the board secretary to help me with this so she could be able to do the research with Ms. Bocanegra and figure out these 17, I think it's 17 new trainings that we have to comply. So Ms. Ramos, do you want to chime in and mention a little bit about that?
So, yeah, just a reminder to our board members, the trainings should be completed by no later than August 27th. I did put August 25th as the first deadline, but August 27th is of the utmost importance so that we can meet the deadline to be in compliance. Again, if you need any assistance for any of us, call Ms. Bocanegra. You can also email me and print your certificates and/or get your training to be recorded in the website that you are undertaking it. So these trainings will conclude this fiscal year, and then starting in September, we begin with the next fiscal year. So we're back again. Some of us are going to redo the trainings that we're doing right now. We're going to redo them again for the next fiscal year. So I appreciate all your help, and if you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Ms. Bocanegra. She's the one that has the links, plus she also has a connection to technology, so in case you need to know before is another training that needs to be done as well. I appreciate your help.
Thank you. And again, this is not an action. We're not taking action on this. It's just mainly an announcement, just to mention. But with that being said, next item, next meeting date, Thursday, September 25th, 2025, 6 p.m., regular monthly board meeting. And with that, can I have a motion for adjournment? Okay, wait. There's a motion by Ms. Vela, Ms. Liendo, Ms. Garcia, and I have a second by Ms. Alexander. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? No? Motion passes. Thank you. And it is approximately 8:11, and we are done. Thank you.